Hey everybody, it's Elizabeth from Silvernest Homeschooling, mama of 4. Just sent one off to graduate, but they've got 3 more to go, and we are looking at 7th grade science games. And if you watched my very, very long videos, the 2-parter on how I decided, actually just going through every single science game we had at that time and sort of showing you if I would have bought them or not again. But this is, we got rid of probably 12 games, and this is what we've ended up with that we think we're going to use this coming year for our 7th grade science homeschool class. And these games actually can teach a complete science game curriculum. I'm going to be adding in some experiments, hand-on experiments, which I have a whole pile of. I can go over in another video if you want to see those, but they're basically a box subscription. And then I also have friends coming over to play the games with us. And then on top of that, we are going to be using a rubric type of paperwork on how to report and write down and take notes on the scientific method for the different experiments that we're doing. And we're going to be learning how they do it at the 8th grade class that our students enjoy when they go to 8th grade. So this is prep for 8th grade science at our school. And that class is amazing because it actually teaches you a lot of how you're going to handle going to college. And our kids start their college career at the junior is always the plan. If we need to adjust it, we'll do that. But that's our plan. So this is the idea, is to make all of these science concepts that they're going to see and learn about in high school in a bite-size piece, to make it comfortable so that when they see those things, they don't panic. They're like, oh, I totally know what that is. I know, I've seen DNA. I know what Mendelian genetics is. I know what a Punnett square is. We've done that. It was fun. So some of the kids don't find it as fun as others, but it's fun is an option. Learning is the main goal. And so that is what we're working on. So I'm just going to go through different piles. I've got some that we're definitely going to use. So we'll start with those. And then as we go through, I'll get to the games that we might throw in. And some of these are based on different unit studies we're going to be doing. And so they will be linked directly to that. If you're interested in knowing which unit studies we are combining with which games, I can make a separate video. But this is just the whole pile of what we did end up keeping, and we are going to go ahead and try to use next year. So we are going to use genotype. This is Punnett squares, DNA, you're back in medieval times, and you're growing peas. And so you will be learning how to change and figure out how different dice are going to be rolled to see which genetics are going to come through. They have, Genius Games does a great job of having an entire workbook, or not workbook, but like booklet on just the science behind it, and then another one of how to play the game. We've used this in the past with our 7th grade science class and for other students and other kids, and it's been very successful, super fun, beautiful game. Do recommend a YouTube video if you're not a big gaming family. To go along with that idea of DNA, we're also going to do the fox experiment, which is another true science experiment that happened in Russia, where they were trying to see if they could turn foxes into friendly dogs. And so again, they're going to roll dice. They're going to see which traits get passed on. They get to name their foxes. And we also get to talk about humane experiments, because the foxes that were bred that didn't match, they killed them. And so we will talk about that. We'll talk about the difficulty of learning with science and the challenge of how to do that in an ethically way, and how that ethic changed some people's perspective of what is ethical, and how you treat animals and how you treat people changes over time. So that's what we will be using those 2 games for. Definitely we'll be using those. We will also definitely be using Cellulose, a plant cell biology game, also by Genius Games. And this one, they will be practicing the inside of the plant cells and worker placement and moving around. We've again played this one successfully. And so we're going to definitely have, the nice thing is this one holds 5 people. So when my crew comes over, we can actually play a few more people. So on top of that, we'll also be doing the cell biology game Cytosis. And that again has same Genius Games, worker placement. We play this a lot. You travel around the cell, organelles, all the things, and even viruses. So that's good. And then periodic table, the game of the elements. This one actually uses the periodic table as part of the game, which is fun for helping them practice and memorize. This one has been super great at gathering as well. They're gathering the different elements and making things that are real and just fun and not too challenging in the sense of like teaching it to middle schoolers. So yeah, big fans. So those for sure. Then we're also going to for sure play subatomic. And this one is you're figuring out where your physics, chemistry. So they have deck building, you have quarks, photons. You're going to be working to try to build that deck that will allow you to get a, oh mercy, I haven't played this one for a while. I'm not telling you very much because I don't actually know very much, but I do like the fact that it has the characters, and we do remember playing it with different characters from history that actually helped discover some of these things. So that science history combo is great for me. And then it does again have the workbook in it to explain the science to the students. So I will be rereading that and teaching that when we get to it. Can't hold everything in your brain all at once, right? Compounded. I love this one. This one actually feels like you're in the lab. You're collecting elements out of this fun bag and you're making different actual fun things, including your fire extinguisher. And there are lab fires, and just making things more efficient, but also learning how the different things go together. And they do a little bit of the drawing showing how some things are connected, but in general you're collecting like 2 carbon and 1 oxygen and trying to figure out how to play it and get points. Valence Plus, I highly recommend this one as well for fun and for young kids because you don't need to read to be able to do it. You're matching things by color, so you need 2 gray and a green, and then you're looking here to see what it is you're trying to build. But once you understand that, you can actually keep going for some advanced chemistry, and they're all ninja characters, and so that makes it kind of fun. There is a smaller set of cards just called Valence. The plus one gives you a board and some more molecules and things to build, but it's expensive. So if you're going to invest in it, just know that you're going to plan on playing it a whole bunch for you to get the money out. We were blessed enough to have our school buy it for us, so we've been able to use it for years and years and years. It's gone through all 4 of my kids, and I just wish it wasn't quite so expensive. And then we'll be playing Manhattan Energy Empire, talking about the different kinds of energy and the drawbacks and the pluses. It's a worker placement game. It's a little light on the science part, but it does help give an idea of why corporations and stuff would aim one way or the other. And we're also doing a unit on energy, so that's why I want to include that. All right, going here to Alpha. This is about being in a family of foxes and going around. And I like this one because when they run out of food, there's less food to eat. And so we get to talk about environmental issues and also just the reality of being a carnivore. And yeah, it's fun. Goes out really well. It's not super long. Easy to get to the table. Melissa and I love Canopy Green, Evergreen, my youngest. She's the one taking 7th grade. So we will be definitely playing this one, at least the 2, her and I. And this is where we live in the Pacific Northwest. So this is all the fun flora and fauna of the Pacific Northwest. Gives you that understanding. There's some science concepts in here, but basically you're getting to know what the different local animals and the different plants, and we're going to be doing a botany unit, so we're going to definitely be playing that. Salal, anyone? Also with our botany unit, we'll be doing planted, where you're growing houseplants. Super simple, super easy to get to the table. Trying to collect the right things in order to make your plants grow. A little bit of science, but mostly, again, getting to know the different kinds of plants. The artwork is really pretty, and it literally only takes about 20-25 minutes. So you can get in 2 or 3 games of it in one sitting. We will also be trying, this is new for us, we've never played it before, the Wild Serengeti. And it has a ton of little meeples. And so we are going to be filming, is our role, filming the Serengeti, but we get to play with all the different meeples and learn about different animals that live in the Serengeti in Africa. And I'm just excited because it's so pretty. But I haven't played it before, and I'm hoping it's not 2 hours. I'm really hoping it's not 2 hours. 14 plus means that they haven't play tested it with anybody under the age of 12, and Usually it means this kind of game is easier to play than if it says 12 and up. I would actually pick the 14 and up every time over a 12 and up because they haven't play tested it. Doesn't mean that the kids can't enjoy it. That just means they didn't spend that extra money to do that. All right. We will also be playing Astronomy Flux. The kids have done an entire year on astronomy, so this will be more like just remembering how it works. And because of that, we may or may not do one small step, which is the race to get to the moon between Russia and America. I haven't played this. I've had it for a long time, but my husband and my son have played it, and so it'll be on the maybe shelf if my daughter or her friends are interested. It's kind of a big beast, long game. Back to the Serengeti challenge. We will be playing Gravity Superstar. This one does a great job of showing how gravity always goes down, but in this case, gravity keeps changing directions, and so you are trying to fall over stars and get them. And I think it really helps just teach that idea that what gravity does for us and how it's important. And then we can go off a little bit into how gravity keeps us safe here on the world. Zendo is my favorite for teaching the scientific method. One person has the card changes. So in this case, they want the winning combo has to have yellow. So this is right. This one has no yellow, so it's wrong. And so you, without talking, you build a right that follows the rule and a wrong. And then everyone on the table also builds something and then asks you, is it right or is it wrong? Does it follow the rule? And then you give them a black token if it doesn't and a white token if it does. And then they have to guess using those white tokens what the rule is. For the scientific method, it's that idea that you don't know what's going to happen. You have a guess of what's going to happen. You're constantly, I think this is going to take place. So we're very much going to be enjoying this. And it plays with giant groups, which is really helpful for the team we're with. This also plays with giant groups, and I have not played this before. Nerd Word Science is supposed to be a high school level science group game that covers every kind of science from chemistry, physics, biology, and I will not know all the answers. And you are going back and forth trying to figure out and get clues and see which team can guess better. So we'll be really good to play in an actual classroom. But for us, we will just see how to modify it to be able to play it with our group. And maybe we'll choose it on a day that a lot of kids happen to show up. We know we're going to get 3 kids and that one of them might be too young to play a lot of these games. But she has a mom to help her. But there's a chance that we might get 2 more. And so that would make, well, I have a child. So that would make 5 kids regularly. And then you throw in that other kid or 2 might get 7. So if you go too big on some of these, it's not actually helpful because it takes so long to learn the games. And it also, a lot of them are like 4 and under for the count. We will also be playing Organ Attack, which you give each other diseases and you're trying to keep your organs alive longer than everyone else. So my kids love this game. It is very much an attack game, but it's short. So you can play multiple times. And it does a good job of explaining different organs and the challenges that they can face. We'll also be playing Anatomy Flux. They're going to do health with my mom this year. My younger daughter also did his high school level health, but last year my daughter did a whole year on the human body. So we may not spend as much time on these just because I know they really have already covered this. But in those days that they're like, I don't want to learn anything new, these are helpful and they do work with a lot of people. Other things we might not play. Card line animals. You're lining up animals based on size or height or some description. So is a panda bear smaller or larger than a squirrel? Globetrotter, same thing. Bigger, smaller, population, etc. with countries. Coral reef, not as much science, but fun. You're building a coral reef, trying to put different animals by different things to get different points. You have to play a few times in order to understand the concept. So we may or may not get this one to the table this year. And it doesn't teach a lot of actual science, but it is pretty. Trails. This one is kind of talking about like going out and walking in the woods and you have your water bottle and your different things to keep you going and you're taking pictures. Not high science, maybe on a fun day. It's nice and short. Solar draft. I do like this one for school. This one, you're building your own solar system and some of the rules actually do comply with what actual solar systems have in them, and it's just really pretty and it's really short. So it's great for just like throwing at the end of, say our experiment went badly or our experiment really short, then we could throw in Solar Draft, play it, and not feel like our time was wasted. Dive is another one I really, really love. Not as much science, but you're looking through. I opened it in my other video, but you're looking through down, there we go, and picking up, trying to guess how low down the sharks and the different animals are through these clear, transparent sheets. And so again, we'll probably put this on the to play if we have extra time or the kids ask me to, but it's not actually, in my mind, 7th grade science. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a great game. It's super pretty, and it's got some more complex components you can add to it, but it doesn't necessarily teach any more science. So as you can tell, we're going to be aiming more for the actual science games with the actual teaching in them. And then if it's a concept that goes along with what we're already studying, we will also go over that. And yes, it looks like a lot, but think about a whole year. We try to play every game at least twice, because once you've learned it once, you want to play it again. So if we play it the same day 2 or 3 times, if it's short, if it's not, then we would go ahead and try to play it again in that week. So the goal is 1 scientific experiment a month, and then maybe 2 if it's a special month, and then the board games on the other 2 to 3 days of the month. And then at the end, they will also be taking notes on what they learned scientifically from the game they played. And if it's a scientific experiment, they will be learning how to fill out that paperwork on how to do a very detailed response for what our school actually uses. And so they'll have a whole practice time. So we'll give them a little bit the first, and then some more, and then more and more and more. And so because they have a team, they'll learn it as a group, and that will serve them well in the future, as well as note taking. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was interesting. And also, again, you don't need all these games. If you actually have a science curriculum, you might just want to add 1 or 2 games and play it over and over all the year. Then you don't have to remember how to play every one, because it does get a little tricky when you can't remember how to play the rules. The more you play the same game, the more they're going to, especially for like these, the more emphasis they're going to get, and the more understanding they're going to get the science part, because they won't just be in their heads thinking, how do I play this game? How do I win this game? They'll actually be focusing on the science. We have learned that in the past. So yeah, hope that was helpful. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I did not buy all these games this year. I have bought these games for years and years and years and years and years. And some of them, again, our school bought us, and so we're borrowing them, and they will be returned to them. And yeah, we will talk to you soon. I have a month left. You guys might already be in school, but I still have a month. So I'm glad to get things in advance. And yeah, again, let me know in the comments if there's anything you want me to open and show you the components inside, or go over like what the age recommendations are, because I know that can be really helpful if you're trying to make a decision. And also the other thing I do need to point out is that some of these, the prices don't fluctuate, and they're available all the time. Like the Genius games are around, but some of them might be a little harder to get a hold of, such as these card line games. Okay, thanks. That's all my disclaimers. Yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.